Good day everyone, welcome again to another episode of tax training, and today I will discuss to you about the Google tax case. But before that, I want to say thank you po sa ating mga subscribers, at doon po sa mga hindi pa nag-subscribe, please subscribe to our tax training channel, and we promise to bring you more information about complicated issues po sa mga cases in taxation. So today we will discuss about Google tax case. Paano po ito nangyari at saan? So ito pong Google tax case ay ang decision po na pag-aral natin ngayon ay ang ginawa ng Court of Appeal of Paris, Tribunal of Great Proceedings of Paris, Financial National Parquet, at ang reference PNF 15-162-00335, Public Interest Court Agreement, Inter. The prosecutor of the Financial Republic near the Tribunal de Grande Instance of Paris and SARL France, Society a Responsibility Limited, and Serin 443061841, 8 Rue de Londres 75009 Paris, and Google Ireland Limited, Gordon House, Barrow Street, Dublin 4, Ireland. So ito po yung information po about the case, Paano po nangyari ito? Google France Limited Liability Company, Google Ireland Limited, and the group na Google, So, Google is a group providing digital services that gets the bulk of its revenue from the broadcast of online advertisements, So, very popular po sa atin yan, at yan po yung nagpa-provide po sa atin ng services. AdWords, now called Google Ads, is Google's leading advertising program. It is based on an auction system. It allows advertisers to broadcast targeted advertising related to the searches made by users or content sites consulted. So, araw-araw, pag nag-internet tayo, nandyan yung Google, tumutulong sa atin. In addition to advertising, Google's leading products and services include Android, Chrome, Shopping, DoubleClick, Google Analytics, Google Cloud, Google Maps, Google Play, hardware, search, Waze, and more. YouTube. So kasama po yung YouTube sa atin yan, yung provider po ng services natin ngayon. So ano po nangyari? Google Ireland Limited, hereinafter GIL, is an Irish company headquartered at Gordon House, Barrow Street, Dublin 4, Ireland. GIL is a subsidiary of the Google Ireland Holdings Corporation, itself a subsidiary of the American company Google LLC. Google LLC was created after Google Inc. was changed from Alphabet Inc. on September 30, 2017, and Google LLC is a subsidiary company. Google France SARL, hereinafter GF, is a French limited liability company with seat social at 8th Street of London at Paris. GF is a subsidiary company of the Society American Google LLC. GIL main activity is the sale of Google products and services in the EMEA market, or Europe, Middle East, and Africa. As such, its field of activity covers the market France. Under a marketing and sales assistance contract, MSA, signed on May 16, 2002 between Google Inc. and GF, sent to GIL by an amendment of July 1, 2004, it is expected that GF employees with marketing and sales support to teams of GIL. Thus, as of 2004, The services sold by the Google Group to French customers fell under an Irish tax on commercial companies at a rate lower than that of French tax. Under the MSA, the compensation paid by GIL to GF for services rendered by GF was until 2016, determined by applying the highest amount between cost plus 8%, a percentage of GIL's turnover, set at 3%. The cost plus method results in a higher remuneration for GF, which was used in the context of MSA, yung kanilang agreement, no? Marketing sales agreement. Presentation of facts. Ito na po yung nangyari. Ano yung nangyari? Bakit nagkaroon po sila ng case in court? On November 12, 2012, the Directorate of National and International Audits of the Directorate General of Public Finance sent a correction proposal to GIL for the years 2005 to 2010. So, 2005 to 2010, 6 years. Alleging that GIL had a permanent establishment in France. Ano po ba itong permanent establishment? Ito yung tinatawag natin na sa atin, no, dito sa Pilipinas, tinatawag natin na branch, no? Pag ang isang company ay mayroon ng presence in a country for more than 183 days, meaning may presence siya dun sa isang country, tawag sa kanya is permanent establishment. At ano na po ang pagtatax sa kanya? Kagaya na rin ng domestic corporation. No? So this proposal for rectification has been contested. Kinontest po ito ng Google. No? So the Regional Director of Public Finance, Lee de France, and the Department of Paris filed a complaint in the hands of the financial prosecutor on June 10, 2015, on the basis of a failure to subscribe to GIL's corporate tax declaration, alleging that it had a permanent establishment in France in the person of GF or Google France. No? For the 2011 financial years at 2014, no criminal complaint was filed for the years 2005 to 2010. No? An investigation was opened on June 16, 2015 on alleged violation of Article 1741 et seq. Of the French Tax Code and Articles 324-2 of the Penal Code. It was extended on April 4, 2019 to fiscal years 2015 and 2016 pursuant to the provisions of Article L 228C of the Book of Tax Procedures as amended by the law of October 23, 2018 relating to fight against the fraud. At the end of the investigation and after analysis of the administrative decisions of first instance and appeal, which discharged GIL of the payment, in particular the tax, on the companies for fiscal years 2005 to 2010, refusing to recognize Google France as a permanent establishment of GIL, the public prosecutor considers that the remuneration of Google France by GIL between 2011 and 2016 was insufficient at look of the extent of the functions exercised and of the risk related, supported by Google France. No? Actually, itong case na po to is actually a transfer pricing case. No? The public prosecutor states that the function actually performed by Google France employees exceeded the contractually defined scope by the marketing and sales agreement, while the MSA provided for the activities of Google France that it was not intended to negotiate contracts concluded by GIL with its customers. According to the financial prosecutor, the investigation revealed the primary role played by Google France in the commercial relations established by GIL with its large account customers located in France. For the financial public prosecutor, GF has carried out other tasks than those contractually provided. So by the nature of the benefits done by the product, sure, which they have done. The prosecutor of the Republic financial supports than the remuneration inadequate of Google France by GIL must give rise to an adjustment pursuant to Article 57 of the General Tax Code, and that it is likely to characterize for GF a voluntary subtraction to the establishment or corporate tax by concealment of a part of the sum subject to this tax, and for GIL a complicity of these facts provided and repressed by the goods 1741 and 1742 of the General Tax Code and Articles 121-6 and 121-7 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Okay, so the representative of Google France and GIL designated to represent at the procedure have been heard as part of the investigation. They argue that GIL and GF had received numerous professional advice on the merits of their tax structure, supported by the decisions of administrative tribunals, including COL. However, Google France and GIL note that the facts presented by the financial state attorney are, at the end of the investigation, likely to receive the aforementioned criminal qualifications. So for the financial prosecutor and in accordance with the revaluation remuneration of GF for fiscal years 2011 to 2016 applied by the tax authorities, the amount of corporate tax evaded by Google France amounts to the following amounts. No? So for 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and total. No? So total tax base, partly comprising the base declared, no, for taxation by Google France, amount of income tax evaded. No? So yun po yung total, and then the amount of income tax evaded niya is 189,528,428 euros. Okay. Public interest fine. According to Article 41-1-2 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, the amount of the public interest fine is fixed, of way proportionate to the advantages from the breaches recorded in the limit of 30% of the average annual turnover, calculated from the last three turnover figures annual known at the dated of finding of the breaches. So ganito po sila pag compute po ng fine o yung sa atin penalties, no? So the amount of the statistics business releases by Google France for the drill 2016, 2017, 2018 are respectively 299,301,917 euros in 2016, 325,554,124 euros in 2017, and 411,016,321 euros in 2018. The amounts of the statistics business released by GIL for the drill 2015, 2016, and 2017 are respectively 22,603,799 euros in 2015, 26,287,331,000 euros in 2016, and 32,159,837,000 euros in 2017. The theoretical maximum amount of the public interest fine incurred by SARL Google France is therefore 103,587,237 euros. The theoretical maximum amount of the public interest fine incurred by Google Ireland Limited is therefore 8,105,096,700 euros. The accumulation of criminal and fiscal penalties being allowed, subject to the proviso that the overall amount any sanctions applied shall not exceed the greater of one of the penalties incurred, had respect at amount total of 56,858,528 euros accepted by the SARL Google France. At title of the penalties, the fine interest public, the concerning bond can exceed the amount of 46,728,709 euros. For the financial prosecutor, it is clear preliminary inquiry that the reduction in compensation paid by GIL to Google France allowed Google France to evade the total payment of 189,528,428 between 2011 and 2016 in accordance with the amount indicated in paragraph 15. GF justified of the signature the 19 July 2019 agreement with administration tax wearing sure taxes sure the companies evaded the interest of delay and the penalties tax who have summer established by the administration tax at title of the years 2011 and 2018. So in addition to the tax saving thus achieved, Google France has removed from these shortcomings the enjoyment of cash that should be valued by applying the rate of return on equity of the group. These advantages represent the sum of 13,107,787 euros for the period considered. As the minor factors of the public interest, fine must be taken into account. The acceptance of the settlement by Google France of its tax debt and the cooperation of Google France and GIL with the investigation criminal. However, the prosecutor of the Republic financial valued the importance of the amounts evaded taxes and the time during which such breaches persisted justify the application of a penalty complementary of 297,363,785 euros. Therefore, the total amount of the public interest fine charged to Google France companies and GIL is fixed at 500 million euros. 46,728,709 euros being placed at the charge of GF and 453,271,291 euros being charged to GIL. Reparation for the injury of the victim. On 19 July 2019, the Regional Director of Public Finance of Lady France and the Paris Department was the recipient of a notice to the victim inviting him to put forward any evidence of a nature to establish the reality and the extent of its damage in accordance with Article 41-1-2 of the Code of Criminal. To the extent that the group has accepted the adjustment and has undertaken to pay the corresponding amounts within the agreed deadlines, the Directorate General of Public Finance has not claimed any damage that may be compensated in the context of the agreement. Method of execution of this agreement. Pursuant to this agreement, Google France agrees to pay a total of 46,728,709 and GIL agrees to pay a total of 453,271,291 for the interest fine public. So Google France and GIL agreed to be held jointly and severally liable for the payment of the public interest fines set out above by delivering a certified check in accordance with Article R15-33-60-6 of the French Code of Criminal Procedure 10 days from the date on which this agreement becomes final, pursuant to the 10th paragraph of Article 41-1-2 of the Code of Penal Procedure. It is recalled that in accordance with the provisions of Article 41-1-2 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, the order validating this public interest court agreement does not entail a conviction and does not have the nature nor the effects of the judgment of conviction. Okay? So in Paris, Muriel Fusina, General Attorney at the Paris Court of Appeal, delegated to the functions of public prosecutor. Google France, SARL, taken in the person of his duty mandated representative. Google Ireland Limited, taken in the person of his duty mandated representative. Okay. So ano po itong case po na ito ng Google France, no? Google France, ito yung take charge of the marketing po ng sinasabi natin kanina yung EMEA. And then, consider siya, since nandun yung office niya sa France, kinonsider siya ngayon ng gobyerno ng France na may branch doon sa France. Since binigyan nila ng assessment na prior back na ang sabi ng tax authority ng France is that kulang yung binayaran ng Google, no? So, during the deliberations, inaccept po ng Google yung fine and penalties nila. Sa prosecutor pa lang, inaccept na nila at nag-agree na sila na magbabayad po ng fines and penalty. Hindi na sila tagal sa paglilitis po ng kaso. Nagbayad na kaagad po yung Google France. No? And how much yung binayaran niya? Total amount of the public interest fine charged to the Google France companies is fixed at 500 million euros. No? Naghati po sila ng Google France at saka yung GIL, no? So magkano sa Google France 46,728,709, ang sa GIL naman 453,271,291. So hindi na sila na palitis pa, no? Na hindi pa na nila pinahirapan pa yung prosecution. Ano yung ginawa nila? Nagbayad na. To the extent that the group has accepted, ito yung sinasabi dito sa paragraph 29, to the extent that the group has accepted the adjustment, tinanggap na nila yung adjustment ng gobyerno, wala nang palaboy-laboy pa, nagbayad ng tax po ang Google France, no? At saka yung GIL, Google Ireland Limited. No? To the extent that the group has accepted the adjustment, and has undertaken to pay the corresponding amount within the agreed deadlines, the Directorate General of Public Finance has not claimed any damage that may be compensated in the context of this agreement. Wala na silang pinakita pa na mga ebidensya yung Directorate General ng Public Finance, no? Nagbayad na ang Google, no? Yun ang gusto ko na mentality ng mga taxpayer. Hindi na pahirapan na maglitis pa. Kayo mismo, alam nyo naman na mayroon kayong pagkukulang or hindi na bayaran na tax, no? Mag-volunteer na. Kagaya na ginawa nitong Google France, this is a good example for tax compliance, no? Kasi sa pagbabayad po ng tax, may mga assumption tayo na akala natin, okay na, pwede na. But the moment na sinabi ng gobyerno, ito, kulang pala yung binayad mo. Yung Google France, hindi na nagreklamo pa, hindi na pa nagpalitis. Inaccept na nila yung findings and ang bayad na. Oh? Tingnan nyo dito sa paragraph 32. Anong sabi dito? It is recalled that in accordance with the provisions of Article 41-1-2 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, the order validating this public interest court agreement does not entail a conviction and does not have the nature nor the effects of judgment or conviction. So hindi na-convict, hindi pa natapos yung prosecution, nagbayad na yung Google France. Huh? So walang conviction po na nangyari dito. Parang nagbayad na, inaccept na po ng Google France yung assessment at nagbayad na sila. So this is an example of tax compliant na taxpayer. Okay? So, thank you very much. Hope na nakapagbigay tayo po ng mga explanations dito sa mga issues, especially complicated issues when it comes to taxation. And please subscribe to our channel and we promise to bring you more tax information na makakapagbigay po sa atin ng linaw patungo po sa better tax compliance. Thank you and good day.